Hey friends, and welcome back to another little event vlog. Today we were invited over to the Sony office in Sydney to participate in some Christmas wreath making. As part of the Sony ZV Nation creator crew, we sometimes get invited to some community events, and the most recent one was for Christmas. Now it's not yet Christmas, it is indeed coming up, but I was super excited to participate in another creative workshop with Sony. I have never owned a Christmas wreath. As far as I'm aware, I don't remember having one as a child, and so I was keen to make my own. Especially because I've been doing a lot of crafting lately, it felt very up my alley to get my hands on a wreath and make it myself. There was food and drinks available throughout the night, so we did not go hungry. There were also plenty of places for photo opportunities before we sat down, and I was one of many Sony creators that attended, so I was excited to catch up with some friends and make some new ones. The Sony team did some introductions and welcomed the resident Christmas wreath maker. And very soon it was time to get started. We got some brown yarn and some tan colored moss and started to use that as the base. The tan colored moss is supposed to help be able to stick things in later on, such as the little mushrooms. I didn't really have a design in mind, so I was just winging it and ended up going around the whole loop with the brown moss to begin with. I also thought it would be super cute if I placed my camera in the middle of the wreath as I made it, so I got some footage, some real close-up footage of the moss and the process as I went through. The main theme I was kind of aiming for with my Christmas wreath was just fairies, green forest, mushroom, that kind of fantasy theme. I did talk a lot to the other creators though, so there were moments that I kind of delayed the process. I think I remember I was one of the last people to finish because I was just putting so much on. But you know, practice makes perfect, and you can't rush perfection. It was time for me to start adding the green moss. I was also scared that I was going to run out or use it all up before anyone else was. But luckily I had Raisin Toast and Lunatimus on either side of me, and their wreaths looked nothing like mine. And thankfully they also finished before I did, so I wasn't too worried about taking the green moss from them. After I finally finished attaching all the normal green moss around the sides, they had some fake leaves, it kind of looked like pine, that I decided to stick around the outside. I didn't like that the brown moss was kind of showing through, so I just kind of wanted to cover it up, and I grabbed some of the green wire to just pin it in place. That was probably the hardest part, getting the green wire to the length that you need, and also trying to stab it in a way that it sticks and holds everything together. I struggled a little bit, but hey, I think I got it in the end. Once I got the base done, yes, this was just the base, I ran out of storage on both my phone and my camera, so I missed a lot of recording in between. But I added some of the red buds and the mushrooms. I kind of wanted it to look a little bit even, so I stuck 6 mushrooms around the wreath and then a little bud in between. I also wanted a little bit more variety in the color, so I grabbed some gold beads and I started to pin them in around the buds. Once I had done that and I was feeling quite happy with that, I felt like it needed a little bit more extra decoration, and I wanted to make it obvious where the top and the bottom of the wreath was. So I grabbed some of the gold pine cones and the little fake acorns and just started piling it up towards the top and down the bottom, just like a little cluster design sort of thing. You can also see my hands are green because of the moss. And here is the final product. I was really happy with it. The little white branches sort of brought it all together, though the bottom ones did fall off. But overall, I was really happy with my wreath, and I was excited to take it home and show it out. We also did make a massive mess too, but it's okay, it's not our job to clean it up. Also want to say a huge thank you to the friends that I hung out with during my time there, especially Ray and Luna, and a huge thanks once again to Sony ZV Nation for the invite. I always love these events. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye bye!